Caitlin Clark snags another honor. She's made the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Clark, who is just 22 years old, is the only professional women's basketball player on this list.
Recognizable name on the roster, Angel Reese, who has got to be absolutely terrified. It is not going to be a good Christmas for the villainous Angel.
Music. Caitlin Clark snags another honor. She's made the Forbes 30 under 30 list. Clark, who is just 22 years old, is the only professional women's basketball player on this list. Angel Reese goes nuts after Caitlin Clark, the Iowa superstar, got named Athlete of the Year. Caitlin Clark is getting all the love. And this is the part where Angel Reese, the reigning queen of trash talk, doesn't exactly take this news sitting down. Now the other recognizable name on the roster, Angel Reese, who has got to be absolutely terrified. It is not going to be a good Christmas for the villainous Angel. But hey, Caitlin Clark getting this recognition isn't a fluke. She's got the numbers, she's got the views. I mean, the woman's game drew 18.9 million viewers, for crying out loud, and she's been a game changer for women's sports. So yeah, Reese can be mad, sarcastic, and everything in between. But deep down she knows this moment was deserved. Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark. Jared Schwartz published an article claiming Angel Reese gets deep about longtime Caitlin Clark rivalry. People don't know the legacy. Angel Reese following you around, pointing to her ring finger and taunting you. Honestly, I have no idea. I was just trying to get to the handshake line and shake hands and be grateful that my team was in that position. And that's all you can do is hold your head high, be proud of what you did, and all the credit in the world. Tell LSU they were tremendous. And of course we can't forget that infamous LSU-Iowa rivalry, because why would we? The tension between Reese and Clark has been simmering all year, and this new accolade just adds fuel to the fire. Reese didn't exactly drop a mic, but you can almost hear the shade being thrown through the internet. It's clear she's still not over that championship game where her performance was nothing short of legendary. I'm a dog you can't teach that. I'm going to go out and do whatever it takes to win, and every single night my teammates rely on my energy, so being able to continue the energy even if we're down, even if we're up, that's what I do. First off, it's clear that Clark deserves recognition. She set records, she broke records, and she put women's college basketball on the map. 18.9 million viewers tuned in for the championship game between Iowa and South Carolina. That's right, more people watched a women's basketball game than the entire World Series or NBA Finals. And I can't stress this enough, it doesn't matter how great Clark is. What matters is that Reese didn't get the same attention. After all, the real athlete of the year in Reese's eyes is herself. And why wouldn't she think so? Angel Reese is a walking highlight reel, but let's be real, it's a lot more fun to stir the pot than to sit quietly and not approve. Outright, she was just listed as something that is really impressive. She was listed at as one of Forbes 30 under 30 for sports. Now let's talk about this Athlete of the Year thing. Time magazine gives that award to athletes who actually made a significant impact on their sport, got people talking, and inspired the masses. Clark absolutely ticks those boxes. She led Iowa to the national championship game, becoming the face of college basketball. In the process, she has a Nike deal that makes the rest of the WNBA look like they're still negotiating for free gear. She's a scoring machine, she's breaking records for assists, and she's been on every media outlet known to man. In other words, she's literally the definition of Athlete of the Year, at least according to Time magazine. Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing up in quite some time, but Angel Reese is out here like, excuse me, did you forget about me? Her Twitter's buzzing, her Instagram's popping, and it's clear she's not just taking a back seat to Clark's fame. No, Reese has thoughts, and they're not exactly positive. If you've been following Reese's social media over the past year, she's got a knack for stirring up drama. With a smile, she knows how to push buttons, especially when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Sure, Reese respects Clark's game, but don't expect her to sit around in silence while Clark gets the entire ire. Spotlight. Reese isn't about that life. The point that I'm really not understanding in all of this, and I feel like it's been such a pattern throughout the entire season, it feels like there are still certain people within the WNBA who want the league to grow, but they don't want it to grow. If it's certain people at the fake, let's also talk about the fact that while Clark is having her moment, Reese isn't exactly sitting idly by. Oh no, Reese has been out here doing work too. She's been putting up numbers, making headlines, dominating on the court. Remember when she led LSU to a national title? Yeah, that happened, and the entire world saw her flex her championship swagger, complete with that iconic "you can't see me" hand gesture. It's safe to say Angel Reese made a statement. So what's the problem? Why isn't Reese getting the recognition she deserves? Simple, because Caitlin Clark just had a bigger year. That's the cold hard truth. Angel Reese has been amazing, but Clark's year was well a little more remarkable, so this was for the girls that look like me, that's going to speak up on what they believe in. It's unapologetically you, and that's what I did it for tonight. This was for the more than it was bigger than me tonight. It was bigger than me. Twitter is going to go in a rage every time, and I mean, I'm happy. I feel like I helped grow women's basketball this year. I'm super happy and excited. But let's circle back to the part where Reese's reaction gets interesting. You know she's not going to let this slip by without a comment or two, and of course she's not just going to congratulate Clark and move on. Reese knows how to make everything extra. She's the type of player who thrives on being in the spotlight, and when it's someone else's time she's not shy about calling attention to herself. Is this all some form of petty jealousy? Maybe, but let's be honest, this rivalry between Clark and Reese is one of the most entertaining things to happen in women's sports and years. Reese is fully aware that she's not the only player who deserves attention, but she sure as hell isn't going to let Clark have all the limelight without making her own opinions known. Reese is trolling top tier. We need to give her credit for that. Just started to come up from the very beginning on who was guarding Caitlin Clark. With all due respect to Hailey Van Lith, she's listed at 5 feet 7 inches. She might be 5 feet 7 inches on a good day. Caitlin Clark is 6 feet tall, and not only is she 6 tall, she's the greatest shooter we've seen. So to put someone on her, the social media shade that Reese has been throwing around, classic. She's made it clear that while Clark's had a phenomenal year, she's not about to sit back and let that be the only story people remember. What's the point of having all that star power if you can't have a little fun with it, right? Reese is like, oh, Time magazine picked Caitlin Clark. Well, that's cute. Is she bitter? Probably. Is she using it as a way to stir up even more drama? Absolutely. But let's not kid ourselves into thinking Reese isn't aware of what she's doing. Throughout the year, WNBA players were demanding to be given credit for elevating the league. Angel Reese claimed that she was along with their pretend friends in the mainstream media. They wanted us to believe that the WNBA was exploding in popularity. They wanted to keep all the credit for themselves while downplaying the impact of the only star in the league, Caitlin Clark. Then there's the whole issue of representation. Reese's frustration isn't just about Clark getting all the attention. It's about the fact that Reese has, in her own words, been largely overlooked by the mainstream media, and let's face it, that's a fair gripe. The WNBA has notoriously struggled with coverage, and Reese's own LSU team had to work hard to get the media attention they deserved. Meanwhile, Clark gets a multi-million-dollar deal with Nike and an Athlete of the Year award from Time. Yeah, Reese is watching, and she's not happy about it. And both of them are currently the front runners for Rookie of the Year. Clark, the fastest player in W history with 300 points, 100 rebounds, 100 assists. Angel was named Rookie of the Month for June midst of a single-season record 11 straight double-double. She just one shot. Oh, absolutely. Angel Reese's year was no less impressive. She's had standout performances that make you forget she's only just starting her career. She's already being touted as one of the most exciting players in women's basketball, but it's hard to compete with someone who's not just dominating on the court but also dominating the media landscape. That's Clark, and it's probably safe to say Reese isn't quite ready to share that spotlight. And let's not overlook the fact that Reese's social media presence is a beast. She knows how to use her platform. She's basically a walking, talking meme machine. Every move she makes, every post she drops, it all gets dissected to death. So when she posts her subtle jabs at Clark or anyone else, you know it's intentional. She's not just reacting, she's playing the long game. She knows how to get people talking, and guess what? She did it again with the first pick in the 2024 WNBA draft. The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa. Now, as much as Reese loves to stir the pot, we can't ignore the fact that she respects Clark's game. She knows what Clark brings to the table, and she's not blind to the records Clark has been breaking. But respect doesn't mean you have to just sit back and watch someone else take all the credit. Reese wants her flowers too, and she's not afraid to demand them the moment Caitlin Clark's name hit the headlines as Athlete of the Year. Reese's reactions were nothing short of electric. Seriously.